back over at the Weather Center, checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca. How's it going?
It's going all right here in the Weather Center, Maxwell. We are taking a break from the rainy season, basically.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's about where
we
we
need
are.
rain, but like
we
if
need
there's
the
a break,
rain, but we're caught up so far, so that's some good news,
There you
right?
go.
Like we caught up on rain. We were a little behind. We're not anymore. We may fall behind again over the next couple of weeks. We'll see what happens, but right now, just taking a little break from it. Gives you time to go out and clean the gutters if you need to. This is a look at some temperatures, so we're going to talk temps. So it's been warm over the last couple of days. So far in December, we've seen above normal high temperatures. What about November? Some of the November data is in. And it shows, and the expectation was that it was cool. I mean, if you were out and about at all during the month, it was not a warm month. Most areas saw very cold morning lows, especially. We had a lot of chilly mornings in November. And then in late November, we had a lot of rain, which in turn also kind of prevents our daytime highs from being all that warm. So most areas were below normal. Monterey, Watsonville, King City, all about 2 degrees below normal, which is what I would have expected for most locations. Now, the Hollister temperature record is a lot shorter than Monterey, Watsonville, and King City. So maybe that's why it's closer to normal. The one that stands out to me is Salinas, which is actually 2.5 degrees above normal. I really don't have a meteorological reason why that would be the case. So maybe we can look into the actual sensor. Could be running hot. Might have just been a warm month in Salinas comparatively. We'll dig a little bit more into the data here in the coming days and try and figure that out. But this is just some of the raw information I have for you and wanted to share for you tonight. Below normal temperatures for much of the month of November, but again, December's been warm. One of the reasons is we have this big blocking ridge sitting over the western United States. It's not going to change all that much. As I forward here into time, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you'll see storm systems try to approach the west coast, but they get pushed all the way up into Washington and British Columbia. That is the case all the way through Friday as the ridge strengthens out over the Pacific here. This keeps pushing systems to the north, and then it leaves us on the dry and warm side here on the central coast. Now, the ridge does flatten out as a stronger storm moves into British Columbia this weekend, and models are showing that system diving into the Great Basin. The latest trend has been more into the central Rockies, and if that's the case, it will have less of an impact on us. If it does push a little farther to the west or retrograde a little bit, we could be looking at some gustier winds Sunday into Monday, and I do still have that in the forecast, but if it keeps trending away from us, I might have to take the wind out of the forecast. We'll just probably see a little bit of a cool down. So we're watching that again. If this system is farther west, it could mean some wind for us. It's not going to mean some rain either way, though, as we continue to stay on the dry side. And in fact, the ridge rebuilds Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. So we're looking well into next week. Finally, the ridge maybe breaks down by next weekend, not the coming weekend, but the next weekend. So, I mean, we can probably look at 2 weeks of dry conditions here without much interruption. After that, might be a little bit different. We'll keep an eye on that for you. Right now, looking pretty dry next couple of weeks. Overnight tonight into tomorrow, mostly clear skies again. Can't rule out a little patchy fog right along the bay. The model's not showing it, but we have some right now. It's not supposed to be there. It's there, so there's potential for it. If you're heading out early, how about going for a morning run in Hollister? Temperature around 41 degrees at 8 a.m. A little chilly to start the day. Mostly clear skies, light winds. And then the rest of the day looking sunny. Maybe a few thin high clouds, but that's about it. Barely anything up there. It's not a lot of upper level moisture tomorrow, so it'll be hard to get much in the way of low cloud or high cloud cover. There'll be some off to the west, so maybe at sunset you'll see a few clouds on the horizon. But otherwise, pretty sunny day expected. And with that, temperature is going to be warm for this time of year again. So, you know, Santa Cruz, you should be around 62 or 63 on any given early December day. We'll be at 68 tomorrow. Upper 60s to around 70 in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Even in the higher terrain, Bonnie Doon, you're only down to 55 overnight and back to 67. There's a warm layer in the mountains where you're not getting all that cool. Obviously, in the valley bottoms, it gets a little more chilly. We've got some upper 30s in Felton and Scotts Valley tomorrow morning. On over the east shore of the bay, we'll see highs mostly in the mid to upper 60s, getting close to 70 in Salinas, low 70s into our northern valleys. And again, tomorrow morning we'll be in the upper 30s in places like Gilroy and Hollister. On over to the Monterey Peninsula, we'll be looking at lows in the mid 40s overnight, highs in the low to mid 60s. Our normal early December high in Monterey is 60 degrees, so we're 5 above. And then farther south, we'll be in the 30s overnight, maybe a little patchy frost in some of our southern valleys, but tomorrow afternoon, you're back in the mid 70s. So for coastal sites, we're going to say above normal here for the next 4 or 5 days. I put the warm on there anytime the highs are expected to be at least 5 degrees above normal. So we'll stay that way through Saturday. And then there's some wind potential on Sunday, Monday. That is trending less windy, but we'll keep an eye on it for you. Maybe it'll just be breezy instead of windy. But either way, it looks like we're going to stay dry, and that's about the most exciting thing in the 7-day forecast. Inland areas also running about 10 degrees warm for the next 4 days. We'll cool down with that system coming through out of the weekend, but maybe not that much. We'll still be above normal, Max. Again, maybe 2 weeks before we see rain, but stay tuned to the forecast, and we'll keep an eye on things for you.